take this moment to ask yourself whether you spend more time worrying about your relationship with your partner or enjoying your relationship with your partner, because that's how you'll know whether or not you have relationship anxiety. In today's Argy Bargy, we'll be discussing relationship anxiety. I'll get into what it is, how you know you have it, as well as the causes and how you can free yourself from relationship anxiety. So we'll touch on all of those things. Stay tuned until the end and subscribe to this. If you're seeing me for the very first time, hi, my name is Kundi Sai, and if you're curious about how your mind works as well as how to keep it healthy, then this is the perfect place. Relationship anxiety is when a person experiences feelings of worry, uncertainty, and doubt within their relationship, even if everything is going well. If you're suffering from relationship anxiety, it can really have you exhausted, unmotivated, distressed, and upset in the stomach. As humans, we mostly feel exhausted about so many different things. So I've put up certain ways that you can know if you have relationship anxiety. So this is how you can tell. Start wondering if you matter to your partner, and you keep asking questions like, do I really matter? Does this person actually care about my true feelings? Do they love me? Like, you start questioning so many things and it gets you so worked up. You also start asking questions like, what do they see in me? Are they gonna get bored? When is this relationship going to blow over? Leads us into the second way that you can tell if you have relationship anxiety. Are you always second guessing the way that your partner feels about you? Are you always doubting how they truly feel about you? And also, when you start to feel like your partner is just a little bit distant from you, you start wondering, okay, have their feelings changed already? What did I do wrong? So many things. If you're a person with relationship anxiety, you're constantly worrying about whether or not the partner actually wants to be with you. So you're just worried that they're just gonna break up with you like most of the time, and you're like always on the edge, like, is this the day that they're gonna break up with me? Like, oh my god, I just did this, are they gonna break up with me? You will literally go crazy. So feeling like this can get you into a constant state of fear, and you're always going to be kissing up to your partner just to make sure that they don't break up with you or leave you. You'll start to do everything you can to please them, even if it's actually going to hurt you. You'll also start to just disregard the issues that you're having with your partner. For example, if they do something wrong or they're late or they forget an anniversary, you're just gonna let it slide just because you're still trying to kiss up to them, and obviously it's hurting you, but you're not going to bring it up. You also start fretting about them getting mad at you, even when they aren't mad at you at all. You constantly feeling like, oh my god, I just did something wrong, are they mad? Even when they're not, you're just fretting about nothing, but that's what the anxiety actually looks like. You also begin to doubt your long-term compatibility with your partner, and you start picking up the little differences that you guys have always had, and you're like, okay, but like, we don't do this the same, and then you start to overemphasize that like that's an actual reason to break up with them. And the reason that you start doing this is because you want to feed the doubt that you're already having about the relationship. So you're like, okay, I don't think this relationship is going to be compatible, it's gonna work out. And then now you look for those really, really tiny things that even like a normal healthy couple would probably be going through, but it's not such a big issue, but you would make it a big issue because your relationship is already being questioned by yourself, something like that. You begin to sabotage your relationship. The reason why you sabotage your own relationship is that you want to test if your partner really loves you, so you're gonna do something really horrible that could make them leave you, but if they stay, then they really love you. But the tricky thing about this is that not every person in a relationship that's being sabotaged by the other half would actually catch that, or like read in between the lines and be like, oh, that's what she's trying to, or that's what he is trying to do, and then be like, oh baby, it's okay, we can work through this. And then that's how some relationships end because of self-sabotage. You start reading a little bit too much into their words and their actions. You start over-analyzing everything, overthinking everything. For example, you're hanging out with a group of friends and then your partner is like, oh, hi to everyone, this is so-and-so. And now you're like, oh my god, they just introduced me by name instead of saying this is my girlfriend. And now you're thinking too much about it. And then now you're like, they don't love me, they don't want me, they just, whatever. The reason why your partner could have actually been doing that is it could have been out of respect, because, sometimes it could seem a bit too it kind of seems like you're making that person a property when you say this is my, instead of just introducing them by name. You never know. This is something your partner could have been thinking, and now you're like taking it in a whole new direction. I've just gone through a couple of things that people would do when they're having relationship anxiety, and I know there's been like some noise here and there. I really apologize for that. I think I came out too early to do the video, because now it's a bit more quiet. So I just hope you guys are still watching and will make it to the very end. Let's get into the causes of relationship anxiety. This you really want to stick around with. One thing that causes relationship anxiety is past relationships. For example, if your past partners dumped you out of nowhere, they cheated on you, they lied to you about the status of the relationship, lied to you about their true feelings, those type of partners in your current relationship, if your current partner does something that kind of triggers those feelings from that time when that guy cheated or when that guy lied, it will probably bring some anxiety into your relationship. And also, questioning the relationship is going to have you in an endless cycle of self-doubt. You're going to doubt your decision about being in the relationship. You're gonna doubt so many things about the relationship. If you follow me on Instagram and you keep up with the things that I read, I'm gonna quote something from a book by Tasha Eurich. I'll probably put the book somewhere over here. And in the book, she said that the moment we keep asking ourselves why about a certain decision, the less satisfied we become about the decision that we've made. So the more you keep asking yourself, why am I with this person, you're going to be more and more less satisfied about your current situation. And the third thing is attachment styles. This goes back to the relationship that you had with your parents when you were a child. So for example, if you had parents that would push you away when you were crying, or they wouldn't embrace you or give you the emotional security or emotional support that you need, and they were just emotionally available most of the time, then you probably are going to have a avoidant attachment style. So when a person is in a relationship with someone with an avoidant attachment style, these people are usually very afraid of commitment to anything that involves deep feelings within it. So that could be the person that you're dealing with. And then the other type of attachment style is the anxious attachment. So with this attachment style, these people are the ones that had parents that one time would show them so much love and so much care, and then the next time they would abandon them. So they kind of had both sides of a parenting situation where it's it really sucks and then it's really nice at the same time. So these type of people with an anxious attachment style, when they're now in relationships, they tend to be very clingy. And the reason why they're so clingy is because they're trying to get so much of your attention. And these are also the people that kind of require you to constantly reassure them that you love them or that they're important. And so from everything we've discussed, you probably realize that, okay, that's actually kind of me, or you've realized someone that's like that you know. But don't worry, you're not doomed. I'm gonna tell you how to overcome relationship anxiety. But first of all, I'd really like to mention that most people in relationships do not understand the importance of creating that space of security and safety within a relationship. Because if your other partner felt secure and safe within the relationship, they wouldn't even have relationship anxiety to begin with, unless, you know, the cause is coming from, you know, their parents or something. Then they probably wouldn't be feeling that way to begin with. So people, let's make our ladies and gentlemen feel secure and safe in relationships, please. The first way to overcome it. The very first point is that you need to maintain your identity within a relationship. So when we're in relationships, we have a tendency of, but before we get into relationships, actually, right before we get into relationships, we fall in love with the people that we know as they are. We're like, okay, I really love the way she talks. I like the way she just does her thing, the way she cooks, the way she sleeps, snores, runs. Like, I like her as a person. I like who she is completely. And then now when we're in relationships, we start to change bits and pieces of ourselves to accommodate another person within. Obviously, you're in a relationship, so of course there's sensible things to change, but like in some situations, people literally start changing the way they laugh, the way that they talk. They start to change the actual things that make them who they actually are. They lose their sense of self. So when you start losing your sense of self, that's not gonna do any good for you or your partner. And your partner might start to feel like they're starting to lose the person that they've always loved. So that's not something you want to do. You want to always maintain the person that you are when you're getting into a relationship. And if you feel like a relationship is going to have you changing into a completely different person that you're just not, then I would advise you to remain single until you're able to master who you are first, okay? Then the second thing you want to do is to always be mindful, be in the present moment, live in the present moment, appreciate the time that is living now, the time that you have now with your partner, and do that without judgment. So appreciate the laughter, appreciate the little hurts. Don't, you know, go over yourself and start thinking ahead like, oh my God, what if this, what if that? Just enjoy what's going on right now. Don't think about the past. Don't think about those past relationships like, okay, but this guy that cheated on me in 2019 kind of said something like this. You know what? Just appreciate the present moment. Of course, I'm not saying ignore these things, but just live in the moment, okay? Don't be that person that's getting worried more than they enjoying the relationship. Word, bird, word. The third point is that communication is key when you're in a relationship. So, you know, the relationship anxiety that you're feeling might just be something that you initiated alone, and your partner has got no idea completely like what's going on with you. So it's always nice to like loop each other in on what's going on. Tell him exactly how you're feeling. Tell him what your worries are, and you know, just have a good conversation. And if it's like more hugs and kisses you need, he or she will be able to give you those hugs and kisses, okay? Another thing you want to take note of is that you should avoid acting on your feelings. Know yourself and how you would act, and know also when you're being impulsive. So I'll make an example of, like, let's say you and your partner are not physically together right now. He's at his friend's house and you're back at home, or vice versa. She went out with her friends and you're just chilling at home, right? You're alone. Then you start to like have thoughts about them like not loving you or cheating on you or something, and now you're just constantly checking up on them, like after every 5 minutes. Where are you? Like, you know where they are. Can you chillax, okay? Like, don't act on your impulse. Just you could also distract yourself. Find something to distract yourself instead. You could call a person you haven't talked to in a long time. find something else to do instead of acting on your impulse in situations like this. And this is by far my favorite point. You should acknowledge your feelings, acknowledge the anxiety, embrace the anxiety. Of course, anxiety is nothing fun to have, but when you're embracing and acknowledging it, you're saying, okay, I know that you're there, and now I'm gonna figure out why I'm having you right now. And if it's about your parents, if it's about your attachment style, or if it's about your past relationships, at least you're able to know what the cause is, and you can find a way to work it through, or you can work it out with your partner. Or the final point is you could see a therapist. A therapist is also such an amazing point. When you're seeing your therapist, it doesn't have to be like an everyday appointment situation. You could see them once or twice and you're good, because what they would help you guys do is they'll help you all figure out what both of you need in the relationship, what your needs and your wants are in the relationship, and they'll help you identify if something is lacking and how to express it to the other person without passing any judgment, or without like having an entire fight and then eventually breaking up. And also therapy obviously helps you with clarity, like just understanding that, oh, okay, so now everything is a whole lot more clear. I'm actually going through this because of this situation, and this is how I can cope with it. Therapy also helps you identify ways to cope and ways to overcome, just like what I'm doing right now, but I'm not yet a therapist. We'll get there someday. Okay, so it's a wrap. Thank you so much for making it till the end. You have learned so much about relationship anxiety, and this is like a very hot topic, I feel, because I have also gone through some relationship anxiety. So I understood the reason why so many people requested this topic, and this is what's there. If you're facing relationship anxiety, don't be afraid to talk to your partner about whatever is going on. If you know a friend that is, just share the video. I mean, this is for free, right? Like, just share the video. I love you guys so much, to the moon and back. And I will let you comment a zombie. Put a zombie as an emoji if you made it till the end, because I want to know who's down for me. I want to know who's down for me, okay? Who's down? Who is down for this girl? I need to see those zombies in the comment section. And we're going with zombies because this girl is an October baby, so anything scary, put it down, okay? So this video was a very interesting one. It's my first time doing an outdoor video, and we're done. If you liked the video, don't forget to watch more videos right over here and subscribe to this pretty face, because this girl is done.